The records are now open. Welcome everyone to another episode of Akashic Answers with Emily. I am your host, Emily Harrison, founder and director here inside the Akashic Academy, as well as a mentor to other lightworkers in the realm of the Akashic Records, which I'm so excited to share with you today because this realm, for those of you guys who are new to the understanding of the Akashic Records, is where all information in the universe is stored, past, present, all possible futures. And of course, we know when we have information, there's a lot of things that we can do with it. We can heal with it, we can create with it. Lots of fun applications. So if you have stuff in your life that you are ready to get rid of today, if you have areas in your life where you are ready to find answers, if you have areas in your life where you're ready to expand, to get big. I know we've got a lot of light workers in the house here. Lots of gifts, skills, abilities coming online. It's a little chilly, so I'm snuggling in my blankie today. Then you are in the right place. I want you to say hello once you get here. Let's get some conversation, get some comments flowing up in here. Thank you for all of those hearts. Thank you for the shares as well. And if you haven't shared yet, you can share right now with me while I'm sharing. I'm going to share this out a couple places. And again, thank you guys for saying hello once you get here. Even just saying hello, letting us know where you're from. Oh, it's now Cameron in the house, along with Hootie and Stephanie's here, and Cindy and Robin. Oh yeah, everybody up in here. Heather, hello. Elaine, hello. Nice, everybody coming. Cindy says, oh Lord, the rooster is pecking at the door. I can't find myself live on my phone yet to share out, but I'm going to in just a second, as soon as I pop up in my own feed. If you have areas where you want to get big, please say yes right now. Let's get some yes energy going up in here. Let's set some creative, I was going to say some creative space, but let's go bigger. I'm going to say sacred space. Let's set space for our sacred classroom right here to get big in our own empowerment. Like I said, you guys have gifts, you have skills, you have abilities, you have knowingness coming online. This is your medicine that you are here to not only experience, but to offer the planet. So I'm excited to create this space for those of you guys who want to get big. Who wants to let go of some of their shit? Now I'm going to share. Now that I opened with the first bad word, now I'm going to share to my own page. Who is ready to release today? There's always some release, there's always some expansion, and there's always an incredible amount of seeds that are planted. What am I talking about seeds? I'm talking about wisdom that unfolds in just the perfect time. One thing I want to bring everyone's awareness here to before we get diving into questions and bringing through transmissions is that everything is energy. Everything is energy. And when we begin to think as everything is energy, including our behavioral patterns, including our thoughts, including our emotions, including the dis-ease, the density that we've created and taken on in our bodies, it just begins to become more malleable, just that understanding, just that awareness. So I invite you, open your heart, open your mind. Don't try to determine whether or not you agree with what I'm saying here today. You are going to get the most out of this by opening and just allowing yourself to explore the what if. And even if you don't walk away with, I see there are always nuggets that come in that I think are so juicy and some people could care less, right? You don't have to take away the same juicy nuggets as I think are the good bombs that are about to come in. I don't know what they are. We got to figure out what your questions are. But you take away whatever is important for you. And if you hold space for that, and if you nurture that, if you remember those aha moments, and you go back and you give them a little more energy, non-judgmental space to expand in you, that's what I'm talking about, a seed of wisdom. And going back to it, that creating non-judgmental space and going back to it, that's like watering your seed. And that will allow something new and magnificent to grow in you. So recognize any aha moments that come in, even if I'm not talking specifically to you or answering your question, take what you get. Even if there's something that turns you off about what you hear today, creating non-judgmental space and going back for it. Truthfully, the things that trigger your ass today are just as important as those aha moments when you're like, life all makes sense now. Take those things, hold space for them, nurture them. Nurturing means, again, non-judgmentally going back, breathing into it. See what unfolds. This is really the magic of the universe that I want to invite you to participate in. All right, I'm going to get going asking or reading your questions, asking them to the Akash, bringing through the insights that come in based on the vibrational frequencies that come up from your questions. Again, if there's a piece that is resonating with you, the answer is for you. And we will also do healing energy transmissions that we will be bringing on through for every question. All right, so I'm going to go dive in and grab some more questions or grab some questions here. Oh, why aren't you letting me see all of the comments? All right, I'm gonna have to scroll through up here, which makes me have to lean in and like kind of squint. So bear with me while you see my shiny face now. All right, let me go. I'm giving pulled here to Olivia Barron. Olivia says, I need to cult more inner fire. Tapas. Cultivating more inner fire. Anybody else feel like they want to cultivate more inner fire? Let's talk about what is inner fire good for? Very powerful energy. Obviously, what comes up first is like that energy that fuels expansion. What I'm seeing specifically, though, what Spirit's bringing forward more dynamically for us to look at today is transmutation and recognizing the transmutation availability, alchemizing ability that we have when it comes to using the element of fire. We use it a lot inside the Akashic Academy in our sacred moon ceremonies. We're always burning shit. Whether it's our intentions or our incense sticks, it is definitely a time when we are using that symbolic understanding of how fire transmutes energy. So I want to invite you right now to anybody who feels like they want to cultivate more fire energy. Right now, instead of focusing so much on using that energy to create, and even as I'm saying, like fire to create, well, it's a fuel and it burns, and I use it a lot for almost like being the coal, firing up the coal in the steam engine. Not the best way to use fire right now, the guides are saying. Think of fire in terms of transmutation and using it to transmute densities that are still lingering in your energetic field. What does that mean? Densities lingering in your energetic field mean, is there something that you're still pissed off about? Are you holding a grudge somewhere in your life? Are you resistant to, I keep doing number 2. I mean to add a number every time, but it's not really working out. Are you finding resistance coming up against you when you're trying to move forward with activities? The last number 2. This is what density is. And this is how you can use fire to transmute. A really great fire, for those of you who want to transmute energy, this is resonating with you. How many of you is this is resonating? Janelle, I see your question. I'm going to answer that question next. The violet flame is a powerful alchemy tool. This is the energy, the I am that I am energy. This is the Moses in the burning bush energy. It is also the, you guys know, I mean, we know, how many names do we know it by, right? The violet flame, the energy of transmutation. Calling this energy in and simply just imagining a big old violet flame that's not burning you, but burning the density, the energetic density out of your body is a good thing to do. You've been tricked if you believe that it's silly because you're imagining it. Scientists can measure the brain waves now, so we just got to let that one go. If anybody out there as feeling silly. Okay, so to activate the connection with the violet flame energy, the I am that I am, the great I am. Anybody who wants to receive either their first activation, their first learning to use how to use the alchemy that's available in the violet flame, or if you are a more advanced practitioner and you regularly use the violet flame, I know Teresa Warren, she teaches about the violet flame. She'll teach you about it in her class. Even if you're an advanced practitioner, I'm going to hold space for you to unlock new pieces of knowing that none of us have even thought of yet. Honoring you as a scientist. You are an energetic scientist here. What do you think would have happened if Albert Einstein or Nikola Tesla or Steve Jobs would have dismissed their imagination? Ooh, doggy. Don't want any of that. All right, Miss Janelle Cameron says, how do I best handle the situation with my ex regarding the kids? What's happening right now is an opportunity for huge emotional growth for you, Janelle. And I know that in some sense we're all very immature. And then there are those of us who have spent time honing our skills and advancing ourselves and working on our own issues, which allow us to continue to evolve. And I can tell you, Janelle Cameron, you are a very evolved individual. There are areas that he okay, ooh, this is only he can trigger this deep shit in you. You've transmuted so much else that he's like the only Zen master, and this situation with the kids is the only thing that gets you enough to get you like, all right, what do I do? It's a sign of the high level that you're working at. And it's an opportunity to transmute this by bringing neutrality and non-judgment, just the next level, the next level, the next level. So what they're showing me is the app that you're running right now. So you've been upgrading apps as you go and getting smarter and better and more compassionate and more neutral, and every time as you go. The app that you're running right now, or the stage that you're at right now, what happens is the trigger happens and then you begin instantly, okay, how do I best compassionately be? Like you're instantly in this dialogue of monitoring. Instead, they're just saying, create a space for nothingness for a bit. Just say, okay, I'm just going to let this exist for 2 minutes and not even have any energy associated with it. Now, eventually you're going to have to dance with the energy because you're going to have to figure out and solve the problem and do the actual physical handing off in the exchange that has to happen. But a good alchemic exercise for you that will create a new template for you is giving yourself just that 2-minute bubble of not even interacting with it. Yeah, we're always burning shit. All right. Anybody who feels like they are being triggered. Yeah, fire is passion. There you go. That's and Nick talks about the mode of passion, the mode of goodness a lot. I am a mode of passion girl. I've got a little mode of goodness, but the majority of me runs in the mode of passion. All right. Anybody who is experiencing triggers from people in that inner circle right now, I want to invite you to just receive this energy, this strength, this understanding and awareness of, whoo, boy. It's a sign of working at a high level. I want you to be proud of yourself. I want you to honor yourself. And remember, non-judgment in every moment of you, of the other person, of the situation is what's needed in order to allow the clarity to arise at these moments. Because what happens is our reaction, our coping mechanism, and actually I'm glad that Janelle, that you've brought this up and that it's the vocabulary of coping is now coming out, because next week, all inside here, the Akashic Academy, but the event page, we are going to be hosting, we meaning I standing for the Akashic Academy. We've got so many people already signed up for the breath retreat, finding your flow state and being able to be very clear is a sign of flow state. And unfortunately, what happens is our coping mechanisms knock our ass right out of flow state very quickly. One of the things that we're going to be addressing in the breath retreat is learning ways to stay in flow state using the most easy, accessible tool you have, your breath. But I want to talk about coping because coping has a huge interplay with everything that we're doing in our life, how we cope with things. So once I get off of here at 12:30, I'm going to be hopping over. I'm going to put that link up actually for you guys right now. For the breath retreat, I'm going to be doing just a quick 5-minute teaching on coping and bringing more insight into how we cope, why we cope the way we do, what can be done to shift our coping mechanisms, what we stand to gain. So I will invite you, and I'll remind you before we leave. Hopefully, I'll remember to remind you to come join me. I'm going to be doing that right after this. But recognizing our coping and our coping mechanisms and basically why we're so shitty at coping is where we're going to go for just a little bit right after this. Over inside the event page, the breath retreat, find your flow state. Okay? So be sure to join me over there. Let's get another couple questions in. Sita says it's our first time on. Welcome. Crystal says, how can I hear my guides more clearly? Okay, this is a fun one. Let's do some exercises right now, shall we? All right, so for Crystal and anybody else who would like to upgrade their clairaudience, this is clear inner hearing. Crystal said specifically, how can I better hear my guides? Now recognize, we're not just hearing our guides. Our guides also talk to us in pictures. They talk to us in colors. They talk to us in symbols. They talk to us in feelings. That means feelings of joy, feelings of upsettedness. It also means palpable feelings through your body like chills, goosebumps. Spirit talks to us in giving us a knowing. There are many ways that Spirit talks to us. This language of communication is known as telepathy. It's just sending back and forth in the energetic receiving and imaginary, sending and receiving aspects of your minds, of your energy field. And similarly to how we have outward senses that help us interpret our world, we have inward senses that also help us interpret our inner world, our multidimensional world. And communication is one thing that will drastically help you as you are moving through your process of expanding and growing, because you have guides. And human beings tend to personify things, so we call them guides. So you can think of them as angels or vapory figures in robes, or you could just think of it as energy. You could just think of it as light. You could think of it as binary code. Your guides, it's simply information, right? So if you want to learn how to hear information better, there are exercises that you can do that will enhance your inner hearing, your clairaudience, okay? One of the things that you can do is right now, I want you to close your eyes, take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, set the intention to clear your mind, clear your energy field. And we're going to create some sounds in our inner ear. So I want you to first create the sound of gentle rain. And as much as you can experience that sound, it's going to trigger some other emotions. You might trigger a smell or a feeling. But just really focusing on that sound, and the more dynamic that you can create that sound within your energy field, the more you're enhancing your clairaudience. All right, let's switch that sound. Let's move to birds chirping. And create a symphony, more than one kind of bird. See if you can layer that sound. Good, clear that one out. For those of you who want to communicate with your loved ones who have passed, practice remembering their voice right now in your mind, saying hello to you. Maybe engage in what would be a familiar exchange. I don't know if there was a phrase that they used or a way that they communicated with you. My granny just passed, so I'm just experiencing that with my gran. I can hear her laughing. And then release that one. Exercises like this are perfect for enhancing your inner hearing, your clairaudience. Now, many times as our senses are coming online and we begin to get more dynamic messages, you'll begin to question them, like, is this me? Am I making this up? First of all, you guys know how I feel about your imagination. Is like the golden child, especially if you do something to alter your state of consciousness. Like when I take my students into the Akashic Records, we are altering the time-space continuum. We are shifting consciousness using different brain waves, using different heart waves. So you can trust that when you tune the radio dial to that frequency, the thoughts, the ideas, the sounds, the what's being created within your creation vessel here is from a higher realm. One way that you can begin, now I'm not saying that there ain't lower realms out there, people, okay? You walk into a room and you feel somebody's bad energy. It's the same thing in the spirit realm. When you're getting information in, tune into the vibrational frequency of how your body is responding to this information. Is there an expanded quality to it? Or is there a dense quality to it? You got to begin carving out your own way, asking your own questions. Here's another sound attunement for any of you guys who want it. Just follow the sound of my triangle until you can't hear it anymore. I did it quietly, so you won't be able to hear it for long. I'm trying to lean into it so my mic picks it up. Ooh, as soon as I got close to it, it went in my ears. Now recreate that sound in your memory, recreating that reverberation through your body. And sound is so powerful, guys. I believe that sound and being in the flow state is how they harnessed anti-gravity to move the pyramids or the blocks to create the pyramids. Okay. We're going to do one more quickly coming in. I see Belinda is saying that she's got terrible stomach cramps. So I'm just going to send in healing, calming energy. Breathing in. Exhaling. Belinda, they say move into this energy right now and just ask, what is it that you need to learn? What is this trying to teach you? What can you learn from this situation that will help you love yourself better? Ooh, there's big energy moving for you right now. This has to do with your digestion of spiritual information, and your guides, talking about guides, are trying to bring insight and information in for you. And you're not digesting it. Just breathe and allow it to clear. Allow yourself to clear it now. And then again, ask, just so you make sure that you take the lesson. And this is always important with clearing. We can clear and shift our energy instantly. However, if we don't understand what the underlying energetic frequency or belief is about ourselves that is causing the dis-ease or the uncomfortability, we will manifest it again in some other way, because that it's trying to get our attention to let us know something. To let us know that we're out of alignment in some area of loving ourselves, of being compassionate, of getting out of a victim mentality. These are all kind of the big epic themes that we as humans tend to deal with. We take on density for these reasons. Abandonments are big. Rejection issues, that's my shit. So what is this here to teach me about myself that can make me more loving, more Christed in my consciousness? All righty. Ooh, lots of energy moving down here too. Okay. Amanda Well says, when you're seeing energy and new things are happening, how do you know what things to do? That's a great question because it is very experimental. It requires us diving in and asking questions and playing back and forth with the energy. And there aren't a lot of guides on the planet really to do that. You're talking to one though, I had to say, one of the amazing things about the Akashic Records is because I have a connection, and this is something that everybody can learn to do, with infinite knowledge in the universe, I have to only know what to ask. So when I'm getting downloads, and specifically you were talking about seeing, so that has to do with clear vision, clear inner vision. And seeing can mean your perspective all of a sudden gets higher and you can see patterns working out in your life. It also means seeing colors, seeing auras. It means seeing pictures inside of your mind. It's also connected to our dream time. If you want to know what to do with the symbols and that you're receiving from your clear inner vision, your clairvoyance from spirit, you got to start asking questions. And again, one of the biggest reasons why I love the Akashic Records is all about asking questions and getting answers in a way that you learn to trust it. You have shifted the realm of space and time and are accessing the highest level of consciousness possible. But it does really require us to dive in and play and engage. If you guys are wondering, what do I do with the knowledge that's coming in? I'm starting to see things more. I'm starting to get more telepathic experiences. I'm starting to experience more deja vu. I'm starting to recognize how my energy is influencing this situation. I want to know more about how to work with this. Come see me. Come see me. This is what I do. I teach people how to figure this out. Okay, the Akashic Records allow you to tap into that information, to upgrade yourself to a level where you can receive that information quickly, clearly, and you know what to do with it. There's a huge self-love component to this, people. I'm not going to bullshit you. It's not like going and learning a one-dimensional new skill or a two-dimensional new skill. It requires you to be willing to dive in and commit and love yourself more than you ever have ever before in your life. And not everybody's ready to do that. But if you are ready to do that, that's the key to unlocking everything that you've ever wanted to know, everything that you've ever wanted to accomplish. Your highest self, your highest potential is unlocked this way. And I would like to share that with you. I would also like to share with you the opportunity, one more time, I'm going to put it in there, to sign up for next week's breath retreat. We are going to be doing synchronized breathing, teaching along with breathing every day inside the event page, the Akashic Academy. Go over to our or you can just click that link right there. You'll find it. Sign up, because Monday through Thursday of next week, the 22nd through the 25th, happens inside of the event group from 4:30 to 5 p.m. Pacific time. We are culminating with an integration ceremony on Friday. This is a webinar. So you have to be signed up so that you get the webinar link. Capiche? Breath state, the breath retreat, find your flow state. Flow state is a state of effortless action. When you are in flow state, you are happier, you are healthier, you are more productive, you cope better with your life, which is what I'm going to be talking about for the next 5 minutes or so. I'm going to hang up here. I'm going to go directly over to the event page where I'm going to give you guys some really powerful insights from Psychology Today, from Harvard, about what's going on with our coping skills and what we stand to gain when we figure out just how badly we've gotten off track with our coping skills, and what we stand to gain when we get those things in line and how to do it. So I want you guys to come join me over there. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you again soon.